Okay, I'm bored.
All right, no, I know you're bored. Hey, Josh?
Yeah.
I just noticed something when I erased that last track.
Yeah.
It has a little... And you don't think it's going to be funny, but I know it's funny because I happened to listen to just this part of the show again.
Yeah.
Today. I was so excited about it. It looks a little bit like... Have you seen an electric razor? I'm thinking of different ways of doing it now.
Yeah, good.
Thank you, Andy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome from the... That still gets me every time.
From the Thought Spiral Studios in Sherman Oaks, California.
It's Thought Spiral. Even my dentist today, who was working on me feverishly, and when I say feverishly, he had 103 fever.
Hey, make up your mind. I got to adjust the chair.
Hey, what's that joke?
Dentist tells a woman, looks like you're going to need root canal. Root canal. The woman says, root canal. Oh, man, I'd rather give birth. He says, make up your mind. I got to adjust the chair.
Is that the only difference between dentistry and birth?
That's what that joke would have you believe, yes. It's simply...
Oh, no problem.
Yes.
As long as you give me enough time to adjust the chair.
Yeah.
Well, I have more work done. My work in my mouth is almost completely done.
Yeah, that's good.
I've got more appliances in there.
Do you?
Am I talking funny?
You got a little bit of scaffolding mouth, but that's okay.
But Susan couldn't hear it.
Yeah. Susan wasn't wearing earphones.
You think I should just keep going with it?
I think you're good.
Yeah.
So what'd you have done?
This is kind of embarrassing. This may be more embarrassing than the media.
Then I don't care enough to actually make you go through something to tell me.
No, because it won't be long. Okay. I know now to make them short.
All right.
In the old days, it'd be like, he's going to love it because I brought so much to the table today. Long story.
It's really about my father.
No, I think this is something that I would only not talk about if I found it weird to talk about. I have two partials. Now I have a second partial in my mouth.
Okay.
And so I have a partial on the bottom.
Okay.
You're right, though. It is boring.
No. I just didn't want you to be embarrassed. I don't care if we're bored because I can always tighten that up later.
But there's no dental podcasts that I can think of where they get into exciting talk about.
It looks like it's real teeth, but
it looks like
it's a partial.
Say by day. Say by day.
Say by day.
Say by day. When you put on your yoga pants, try the say by day. So I have instead, like the kids today, you don't have this, I bet. They're getting implants left and right.
Right. And left, yeah.
But you haven't lost many teeth, right?
I have not lost any teeth.
Now it's just
the
cruel.
wisdom teeth I had pulled.
Well, I knew that for the first time you said 2 and 2 equals. You haven't lost one tooth in your whole mouth?
No.
Well, I have. And one of them was because, I don't know if I've told the story, but the endodontist left part of his instrument in my gum. And then that later, he said...
And it was the suction thing, which was weird.
And it was hard to talk for years.
Yeah.
Because it's had the... What's the deal? Is that Robert Klein's? That's Robert Klein's bit, though, right? The sucking question mark. The sucking question mark. Well, I don't know if he said it twice.
He didn't need to.
No. But I could have tried. Anyway, the bottom line is implants are very expensive, and I can't have them in certain parts of my mouth. So Andy is ready.
Because of zoning?
Yeah. Andy is ready for his for my close-up and for my senior years now.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Here's to apples in your golden years.
What does that mean?
It means you can eat an apple.
Oh.
And you're old.
That is one of my jokes about the Invisalign.
Yeah.
Where they is that what, not Invisalign, but they go, I got my whole mouth, and then they say, and we can eat apple. We can eat, no, That's not what they say. They say corn on the cob. That's their big thing.
Right.
And then I rail against corn on the cob. I'd like to tell you about these jokes.
Well, you who could eat corn on a cob through a picket fence with your teeth.
What's the one in bowling? Grandpa's...
The 7-10 split?
Yeah, is that Grandpa's teeth?
There you go.
You know you're a bowling aficionado. We've talked about this. You don't like bowling or you do like bowling?
I don't have a strong opinion about bowling one way or the other.
I could see how Gruber could be a good bowler. He got that long, lanky body.
Yeah. Gruber, who arrives tomorrow.
Finally!
Yeah, I know. It's like Christmas morning.
And how long is he staying for? Do we know?
He's staying here till Saturday, and then I believe he's going to someone else's for a couple days.
Wow. He's like a gentleman traveler.
And we're going to write and write and write.
Because you're doing a show.
Well, we're trying to put together a thing.
And then...
little comedy duo.
Oh, right. Well, are you trying to stick it in my face that we're not doing a duo?
No, we are. We're going to go for a different format.
What's your format going to be?
Live performance.
Oh, I've heard of that. I called in for a spot. I don't think I got a spot.
Well, that's fucking bullshit.
Well, yeah, but I haven't called in spots for weeks.
Yeah, well.
What am I going to do? I actually had that moment like, well, why not? I called in. Maybe it's very busy right now.
Maybe it's passed you by.
And as only stand-up comedy?
Yes, just the industry.
Wouldn't you tell me that off the air? Why would you tell me that during the show?
I was posing a question. I wasn't.
And by the way, what did you just say? I'm saying maybe it's best that you no longer do stand-up comedy, is what I'm saying to you.
Right. Perhaps you stopped a while back, is what I'm saying.
Well, I thought that when I don't know if I mentioned I was in the Super Bowl commercial.
I did see
Very
that.
nice.
I did see an article about that. In the Andy Gazette.
People, that used to be popular about a year ago on Twitter, was like they would have these fake gazettes.
Yeah.
The something Gazette is out featuring...
Right. Jackie Cation still pumps one out.
She does?
Yeah.
Well, how does she do? I thought it was random.
I have a lot of admiration for her to be able to put out a daily newspaper in this climate.
You're not a daily newspaper, right?
I don't remember what the Cation Chronicle is, but hers is the one I still get occasionally coming across my Twitter bow.
Can you say coming across the transom?
I think it might be a daily thing. I just see it only once in a while.
Do you get people's email? Do you get email updates from anyone?
Not many email updates anymore, thankfully.
That's the Jen Kirkman. I thought Jen Kirkman had figured out a racket because she has an email list, but then I don't think she's like, no, she's not Tom. I think it's always you think everyone else is rolling in dough or has figured out the combination.
Yeah. No, I think the secret to show business
is not to have a show.
Everyone is suffering. Everyone
is suffering.
Yeah.
It is. But the nice thing now is everyone's suffering, but we're all, our country's doing well. And it's all for a good cause.
Right, exactly.
I tried to watch Homeland. I'm trying to watch the last year of Homeland. And I don't tell Susan this because I don't think she's telling me this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Neither one of us are telling this to each other. I think the show fell apart a couple of seasons ago.
The show fell apart in the second season for me.
Well, the first season...
It was fun. That was a good
amazing.
Ride. Good ride.
Because it was like bipolar. What's going on? She's up, she's down.
Right.
And now it's like they have to keep adjusting to who the president is.
Yeah, it became a bad comic book in season 2.
They wanted I think if Hillary Clinton had won, they may have had some consistency to it. So I'm not saying don't watch the last year, but
don't watch the last year of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I can't believe that you reminded me of that because Susan and we watched another episode. I said I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
I hate it like poison now.
Do you really?
I really do.
What was the last episode that was on?
I didn't watch yesterday's, but the one with the scone was the last one I saw, I think.
A scone is dry. It's dry. It's dry. That's not a scone.
I just wanted to kill everybody involved.
That's a scone?
Badly written, badly conceived, poorly executed comedy by highly effective professionals. It bothers me so much.
The only person who I love to watch, because I love him, is Severio, Mocha Joe.
Yeah.
He's an old friend of mine. But nobody can rescue it.
No one's good in it.
I will say that I think Andy Kindler, who's me, I've grown as a person. Because when I do see these people who are friends of mine, Love to watch you on Curb. Loved it. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Great to watch you on Curb. Did you think any of them wanted me to go, but let's talk about the season?
No, of course not.
Then the thing with Ted I don't care that Ted Danson is going out with...
No, it doesn't. None of it works. It's all bad. It's another mass delusion that, because it's one of those where no one's talking about the fact. They're saying it's like back from last year.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
I'm like, no.
It's not back.
It's not back.
It may be worse than ever.
It is. It's a sloppy, embarrassing mess.
And he really is like in a couple of years from now. You know how he knocked someone's selfie stick over?
Yeah.
He's going to be like a year from now. He's just going to kick someone in the balls, and they're going to go to the hospital. And they'll go, you just kicked me in the balls. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm a very uncaring person.
All right. Did you do the ball kick? I did the ball kick.
You did the ball kick. How'd you get out of it? I did the, my eyes falling into a pool of acid.
Right.
They went for your eyes falling into a pool of acid shtick. Here's the other thing that's amazing. The only thing that's written are these ridiculous things.
Right.
And they're terrible.
Right. Because everyone just hammers on them and makes it so that it's impossible to camouflage as a plot point.
Or maybe they say, look, the only thing we have are these ridiculous plot things. Let's hit it hard.
Why don't they just give the guest actors a neon sign with the phrase on it? It would be slightly more subtle than what's going on now.
Well, I did laugh.
I'm not saying it's joke-free.
No. I mean,
but that's not the point.
I did laugh at this guy who was like a hotel clerk. He was saying, because Larry calls down and he stained the couch. You haven't seen this one.
Is that yesterday's?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And he calls down and they charge him for the stain. And then the guy at the front desk is very funny. But the only way you can be funny against Larry is to be Richard Lewis, who I think is funny.
But their stuff sucks this year, too.
Yeah, he doesn't.
They're wrestling on the floor. It's embarrassing for everybody.
What's on the floor?
They were wrestling on the floor over something at a funeral. It's just
the thing that I've always...
No one can commit enough to make it look good, but but yet they're so committed to this giant thing.
But what is it about Larry where he thinks... Do you think that he does think he's funny when he does really big slapstick?
I guess he does. I mean, obviously, yeah, he thinks that. I mean, what other possible motivation could he have for doing it so frequently?
And the other thing is that his worldview is pretty depressing, right?
Pretty much.
Because it's not if he was funny or mean every second. No, I don't know. Now I'm picking it apart. It's going to get better though towards the end of the thing.
But he can't. I mean, even character-wise, he won't decide if it's a rascal or a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
Or just a pure asshole.
Yeah, he can't decide whether he wants you to hate him.
Right.
But the other thing is, sometimes I have a really slow day or a sad day. Not a slow day, I'll say. I'll go, maybe I'll watch that Spectrum.
Richard.
Yeah. What? It's got to be terrible.
Well, I noticed that they have changed the focus of the commercials to the actual perpetrator's name instead of saying Richard Jewell a bunch of times.
Oh.
I can't remember what his name was, which is sad for Richard Jewell.
Well, I feel bad. Here's the only thing I feel good about Richard Jewell is I'm sure he's glad that he did pass away before he had to see all these type of things. Why did he pass away?
I didn't know that he had.
Oh, maybe he's not. I just thought he had to have.
I don't think so. Do you want?
Yeah, I think we should. And while you're doing that,
right.
Let's have a word from our sponsors.
Oh shit!
What happened? Richard Jewell's dead?
No, we have no sponsors. He did die. He did die.
Oh,
you're good.
Oh boy, that's a relief. When did he die? 10 years ago?
Yeah, in 2007, it says.
And the real guy is caught now, right?
He was suffering from serious medical problems that were related to diabetes.
Oh.
That's how he died. I'm sorry, what was your next question?
About the guy who did do it. I don't know enough about him.
That was Eric Rudolph.
Oh, now I know that name. Now I know he's like an Eric Rudolph type person.
He was a bomber.
I'm listening to the new DC Sniper. It's not new, but I'm listening to a podcast about it. And I just want to say to people, if you feel scared sometimes, and you feel like everything couldn't be worse. That was a bad period too, because it was right after 9/11, and people were going, okay, 9/11. Then it's like all of a sudden, oh, I can't go to
the gas station.
The gas station or the Michael Kraft store,
right.
and there was no rhyme. There's no rhyme to reason as opposed to most.
A family friend of a friend of mine was a victim of that shooter.
Wow.
Was it Malvo? Was that his name?
Yes. It was a guy and a kid.
Yeah. Was the guy Malvo or is the kid Malvo?
I want to say the guy is Malvo, but
good, because that's a name you should remember more.
Malvo
is the guy,
but the other guy could get out, right? The younger kid.
I don't know. You're the one listening to a podcast. I'm just going from memory.
No. Seriously, I'm here with news. The younger kid is moved in with Hinckley, and they do that's the show. Okay. I just want to say right now that I hope nobody thinks I'm trivializing murder or getting killed. But I laugh out of uncomfortableness. I also think it's one of those things that's long ago now.
Yeah.
Not like Alan Alda in
It's
Crime.
okay, Andy. I think people will buy that you're uncomfortable about a topic.
Folks, I don't know if you know this, but I'm uncomfortable about a topic. And now, I did notice, one thing I did notice when I was listening to somebody talk about Trump or whatever, I realized we have done a very, very good job, in general, of knowing what we won't want to talk about on the show. Like, each little turn of the election.
Yeah.
But I will say, I just have a feeling 3 weeks from now, it's going to be hilarious that everybody was worried that Michael Bloomberg was going to be...
Yeah.
I don't know, but I could be wrong. 3 weeks from now, that 5'7" compact dynamo, Jewish dynamo.
The Jewish thing is it's a weird thing because there's all these. Aside from Biden, it's like anyone who were to become president would be the first of something.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
And so, but with Jews are not like excited about Jewish president.
Well, also,
Jews are like, no,
we don't need
we don't need that.
Well, also, Bernie doesn't seem excited about being Jewish, right? Although he talks about it more.
I think I just saw a thing where he mentioned I'd be proud to be the first Jewish president.
But those go crazy.
Oh God, we're all gonna die. And I think it's probably a little bit of that with Buttigieg too.
What about
where
gay?
it's like, yeah, it doesn't need to be my thing. And I'm if I'm proud of anything about this country, but until like this past week with Rush Limbaugh, like that's been pretty much a non-issue. I mean, they talk about how why it's hurting him with black people and stuff, but
what's the Rush Limbaugh thing where he got the Medal of Freedom?
No, he went off on he was making gay slur things against Buttigieg last week.
I know. I mean, why do I not get these things? I heard about Richard Dawkins.
It was like a socialist. You got Buttigieg who likes kissing his husband on stage.
Oh my God. Whenever I hear right-wing people say how they're surprised that people hate Rush Limbaugh. I thought he goes after both sides. I heard one Republican go, he goes after both sides.
Right.
I just can't believe that he does he need publicity now? Why? Oh, he's just a terrible person. That's why he did it.
Well, he has a radio.
Rush.
Yeah, he has a radio show.
Yeah,
and he has
he wants to.
He
also
has 3 hours of terribleness to fill every day.
Yeah, and he can go. I want my fans to know that even though I'm close to death, I will still do Chelsea Clinton style. I mean, that's what it is, right?
Right.
He's going in like he went out.
Right, but with a Medal of Freedom.
Here's what I want you to know about that. I do think that kind of knocks down the whole idea of the Medal of Freedom now with him.
You think it cheapens it a little?
It does. It does cheapen it, but then I don't think it does.
And you like the way he gave it to him, and that sort of Oprah look under your seat sort of.
Yeah, I love that he threw everything in. I threw everything in. I'm surprised he didn't execute someone during.
Yeah,
during the state of the industry. What?
He saves that for Fifth Avenue.
Well, other than that, this could be a very exciting. This year could be the greatest. It could be the end of everything.
Yeah, it could be anything. it can't be good.
Well, it could be good because one thing I've been good at is saying if I think 2 or 4 or 3 horrible thoughts in a row, I know then I got to back out completely, which I'm good at because you can if you have OCD and
that used to be an hors d'oeuvre.
What's that?
3 in a row. It's just that was an hors d'oeuvre for you.
But you could, because I make 3 chess moves. I go, I don't want this one to be. What if that one was to be? I don't know if I want. And I go, gotta withdraw. I don't know who's going to be. I really don't know what's going to happen.
No, and
anything could happen. I guess.
Well, God, in this 9 months of some of the thread being pulled from Trump now.
Yeah.
Watching him unravel for 9 months.
That's going to be.
And the other difference is that once there's a nominee, it's like people start looking for reasons to like them, not reasons to hate them the way they do now.
I think it could be anything. The thing about it is because they're all horribly old people.
But it's the one thing you're sure of. I mean, I'm sure of is no one's that doesn't like Trump now is gonna like him by the end of the year. So we have this constant ceiling there.
Yeah, he will.
So anyone can win if everyone who gives a shit votes.
Okay, so now let's move the topic to. When is the podcast going to go through the roof? You know what I'm saying? I need the numbers. You
want to do it upstairs? Is that what you're saying?
Literally, through the roof. No, that was just a stupid joke about what else will happen this year. That would be positive and or negative. This has been the best winter we've ever had in Los Angeles.
Would you say it's the winter of your content?
It's close to that. Now, as you know, I'm against global warming.
Really? You're finally ready to go on the record?
Right.
Okay.
I'm not like Pete Dominici, I think that's his name, who was the Republican who, when it was snowing, he went out and got a snowball and said, see, snowball.
Global warming. Bye-bye.
Hello. Could I do this? I have loved it in L.A. because it seems like it's like cold a lot.
Yeah.
And so it's been a very nice...
Well, if this is cold, then
I don't mean like people who are crazy who live in like Chicago or Minneapolis.
Right.
That the other thing I'm feeling very depressed about right now, not really, but there's no sports right now for a man like me.
Yeah.
Until the French Open.
Huh.
Because I know basketball. I guess in basketball in a couple of months from now will be extremely exciting.
It's pretty damn good right now, my friend. Hell of an all-star game this past weekend.
Who won the all-star game?
Team LeBron.
That means the Western Coast?
No, it's now the 2 top vote getters pick their teams from the entire pool of. And the ending's all different. They just changed it this year. It was fantastic.
Well, if I can get anything passed through Congress, I will get the Pro Bowl on football done. That's the worst football game ever. And people can get injured. On a basketball game, you figure they're not going to get injured, maybe.
Yeah, but they don't try. The reason that the Pro Bowl sucks is because no one playing hard enough to get injured.
Yeah, they it's flag, isn't it? They use the flags.
That would be better.
I still have not seen Parasite. You have not seen it either.
Nor have I. No.
I think I'm not going to see it.
I watched lots of stuff this past week. I don't remember much of what I watched. I don't remember much of what I watched this past week for some reason. Thinking back.
Did you binge anything or?
Nah. Something will probably pop up, but.
Yeah.
But I did watch the NBA All-Star game, which was quite entertaining.
And is there any who's the next, who is the current person?
What do you mean?
Isn't it like a big, it's the guy who always holds his tooth guard in his hand, in his mouth. Steph Curry. Is he the star of the league?
No, he's been injured since the 3rd game of the season.
That's why I'm not a color commentator. Who's the current LeBron? Or who's going to be the next LeBron? No one knows that yet.
Probably Kawhi Leonard.
Okay. And what should I know about?
Plays for the Clippers here in town.
The Clippers?
Yes.
All right.
He won the championship in Toronto last year. Before that, he was a Spur.
Oh, that's right. He was great last year. Okay, now I know him. He's not a tall guy. He's a short guy, right? Not a short guy. He's like
this is 5'4" Anakin that are calling people NBA players short.
We don't look when I make fun of others' heights. I don't do it as me. I do it as a regular guy.
Okay.
It's a regular guy looking out into the world. Okay, well, you know what I saw this week that was...
But he's a big guy. I mean, he's not.
I don't know why I thought he was a shooter.
I'd put him at like 6'7", 6'8".
But moves a lot around the court and all kinds of... I should watch the game.
He's a wing, yeah.
He's a wingman.
Yeah.
I saw a great special on... I think it's HBO. It's the Max Schmeling, Joe Louis thing, the relationship there.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the fights? I'm sure you have at one point.
I've seen them in the context of like HBO boxing documentaries.
But when you see it, it's unbelievable because you don't care about spoiler alerts, right?
About Max Schmeling?
Yeah. Well, Susan didn't remember. Max Schmeling knocked out Joe Louis.
Yeah.
And in the second fight, I mean, Joe Louis went to town. Joe Louis...
White hope my ass, he said.
Well, I always had the point of view. Muhammad Ali is probably my favorite human.
Did you see the HBO thing about Muhammad Ali and Dick Cavett?
I saw it. I haven't watched it yet. Is it great?
It's good. Yeah, it's really good.
You never
they
knew
were good together, and Muhammad Ali gave Cavett his full range, including post losses. Like when he lost to Frazier, he went on Cavett.
Wow.
And he was like incredibly classy.
Because that's interesting because you never knew what he was going to be like when he went on TV.
Yeah. But when he lost, he was humble and classy about it.
Yeah. Oh God. I hope he comes. I just can't believe how early in my life I was into Muhammad Ali, and he was the first person who I ever loved who was like a
Black.
bad guy.
Oh.
But I never liked bragging people before that. He was my favorite bragging guy.
He was never really a villain. That's the thing.
Yeah, because he was very funny.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, he was charming.
I'm a bad man. I'm a bad man.
But anytime you watch a thing that spans years of Ali's career, and you see the decline in his speech, and
yeah,
there's something very sad. Well, it's not something. It's something very specific sad about it.
Oh, well, you also think that it may have been 3 fights too much, not like every fight. I think
more
too
like
much.
5 or 6 fights too much.
Yeah,
probably, but yeah.
Well, did I mention to you? I may have mentioned this to you in passing, or could
now in weather? We've done politics, sports.
No. But have I mentioned to you my mother has Parkinson's?
No. How is your mom doing this week?
My mom is. I got the. I think I could talk frankly about my mom.
I think we've gone there enough.
Yeah, my mom could. It's conceivable that my mom could live a couple more years, but. Did you laugh at that?
I did. It's conceivable. It had a sort of actuarial quality to it.
If I slow down on the strychnine, but it looks like that she's slowing down. Lots of stiffness, and it's just one of those things I don't think can go on for that much longer. So I'll probably go back east and see my mama. But I don't know. I'm just thinking about logistics now. When am I going to go?
I saw your whole bed.
The whole thing. The whole ridiculous thing.
Like as soon as you started talking about it.
Sometimes I go, it'd be great if I can overcome these things and have a wonderful life, which I think I do have. But on the other side of it is like, does it really? Is my life that? It's just, I'm kind of a bore. What am I hoping for? No, I'm joking. Things are. I might be one of the greatest human beings who ever lived.
You might be.
When you say that, a little too much might. I almost watched 2 more Nazi. There's always a Nazi thing to watch.
Yeah, on C-SPAN. Hello.
No, Turner Classic Movie. I'm trying to watch more. There's no good movie There's no good movie channels. And here's my theory about the movie channels that they have. They have things that they know everybody probably wants to see, right? So they keep moving them around to different entities. So now all of a sudden, did you know Starz has Last Picture Show or whatever? And then you sign up for that, and then. So what I'm saying to you is...
But when have you signed up to chase a movie? Seriously. When did you go?
That's true. But I've thought about should I upgrade my package to the silver plan or something like that.
You should definitely upgrade your package.
That's not funny. I'm impotent and haven't had an erection since the 30s.
Wow, that was a...
What?
I wasn't even talking about that. You came back with a single entendre.
Get it? It's a single entendre. I'm saying my penis is like an erector set. Get it?
You're saying it's not.
It's not like an erector set.
Yes. You're saying it's like silly putty.
All I'm saying is,
I just read Mary Worth off my dick.
Mary Worth. How did they come up with that name?
I don't know.
All right. And we'll be back. I thought Lucky loved. I just every week I feel like me and Lucky are a couple of months away from being married or something.
It's getting closer now. She just like trotted when you knocked. She just like trotted to the door.
The last week was.
It's not like bark 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 bark, but it's like all right. It's almost more like the sheepdog and the coyote checking in.
What's that? Is that an old?
It's an old Warner Brothers cartoon.
Yeah, and I feel bad that I didn't get. I feel bad that I had terrible taste as a kid and thought that Hanna-Barbera was the most riveting goddamn stuff I'd ever seen. The Huckleberry Hound, and I go, why does Huckleberry Hound's neighborhood have so many of the same
I just
backgrounds?
don't understand why you didn't see all of it. That's what I don't get because I saw all of it.
There's probably an answer to this that is not as interesting as I think it is.
Yeah.
I just don't remember. I mean,
it could be as simple as I read a book, Josh.
No, it's not. Let's not try to create an alternative childhood of me. Andy was always. Do you think when you read these biographies and they go,
"Here's young Andy practicing his violin."
That is a. Oh God,
Mom, is it time to stop yet?
Mom, when do you think is there ever a chance
I want to read now.
Mom, you know I hate the violin or yeah. Now do it a step up. Mom, if you could even focus on something other than yourself for 1 minute, you would know I hate the violin. I'm not going to tell you.
Did you say something, Andy?
No, I said, yeah, I'm looking forward to violin. And my dad, every time he would come up the stairs, he would do his classic.
Who killed the cat?
Who's killing a dead cat?
Yeah,
which is even worse.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
That's right.
He said my playing was so bad, it would be like hitting a corpse of a dead cat.
Did you go, I don't know, Dad, who's beating a dead horse, huh?
I wish I had been that clever. That's interesting. I had the violin, and yet I still couldn't come up with a Jack Benny style joke. Everything that I was doing was pointing towards comedy, but I couldn't see it.
That's right.
Yes, when he said he loved the violin.
We thought it was a Henny Youngman thing.
But it's my mind still, as a razor sharp thing, goes right back to you went to religious school.
To me?
Yeah, I think you were tortured in a way more 3 times a week.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is that we were all a bunch of shit. It wasn't like a yeshiva.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, we were a bunch of fucking suburban fuck-ups who,
But was it fun?
No, it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like heavy study either. It was a bunch of like really insolent little rich kids.
Insolent little Jews.
Insolent little Jews.
I would
and
imagine
a bunch of really cranky Israelis teaching us a lot of that, or really old people who also taught our parents,
Oh my God. That cannot be a fun...
It wasn't fun at all, but it was like they were trying to run a school so much that it was like silly almost.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was stupid the amount of time that got sunk into me.
Yeah.
When it wasn't something that was clearly that important to my family.
And it certainly wasn't going to it wasn't going to help you later in life.
Well, it would have if it took.
Mm-hmm.
If it took, I'd be a pretty well-educated Jew,
Yeah.
As it turns out, I'm that, but it don't matter that much,
No,
but it would, it would have given me a foundation to be a good Jew.
Yes, it's very hard to separate bad. Like, I'm a big believer in public education. My sister was a public educator, and I think teachers are better because I have friends who are teachers, and they're much better than the teachers I grew up with.
Right.
But
to my parents, or at least my mom, I think my dad probably could have easily been talked out of it. But my mom, it was just like, it's what you do, like taking your kids to the dentist every 6 months. It's like you send your Jewish kids there,
Right, and in our case, it was send your Jewish kids.
I sort of, I resent the unexamined decision that they made to do it,
Yeah, I think of the big blocko time.
Yeah, it was a huge drag. Well, there was 2 shifts to it. Like, as we got older, you could go from 6 to 8 p.m. too. There was a night,
Oh, okay.
So in high school, I didn't make it much into high school, but like junior high age, you'd go and you'd come home, and then you'd go. A bus would pick you up, and you'd go from 6 to 8.
But ever since I took that Taekwondo and got sick of it, and I really feel like now my age, because I was going like 3 times a week and all kinds of crap. I feel like at my age, I feel like every day is like a holiday. I'm not making money, but it's a holiday.
Yeah, no, I can still conjure up that it's not a school night joy.
Yeah. And in a lot of ways, who better than us with our own? We have one of...
Well, the only pleasure not the only pleasure, that's not true, but one of the few genuine benefits of this life is that we don't have the structure. But if you can find those days where, you aren't failing yourself.
Yes.
By doing nothing. Or, or being happy.
Well, this is a nice podcast for people of different ages, because if people are following this podcast, I don't expect anybody to, but I'm at the age now where I'm going to start looking at my Medicare. I can be, for these young kids listening to us.
Yeah, you're a couple of years from Medicare and pension.
I'll be 64 this year.
Yeah. And
then I think when you're 64, you got to start looking at 65.
There's going to be a lot of pissed off friends of mine at my 50th birthday party.
Well, because they'll all be 80?
Yes.
Do you have any friends your own age?
I have a couple my own age. I have a couple.
You're a son.
Yeah, I have a couple younger friends, but mostly.
Oh my God!
Around your age, mostly. Right. A little younger than you, some, but.
So here's the way you set your life up. You lost a lot of people close to you at young ages,
right?
And now that's what you're setting yourself up.
And now all my friends will die before.
All your friends will die,
so I'll be old alone. Yes,
but there will be that
Thus, the younger friends,
right? And there will be that time period where you high five every when you high five your younger friends, and the last of your old friends died.
That's true. Now I'm king.
But from my point of view, I feel like...
I don't know. I think it's making a big assumption that I'm going to live super long anyway. So
okay, I think you have a... do you think that it makes you fatalist because you had an incident? Or...
No, I think because my parents died.
What does fatalism mean? It means you think...
What does it mean?
Yeah, does it mean like you're just thinking about death a lot, or... fatalism?
All roads lead to death approach.
Oh, so you're going by the genetics of it.
I'm going, yeah. I think, we all imagine ourselves getting old, but my parents dying at those ages made me go, that's not a given. So I don't think of myself as doomed to die young, but I don't think of myself as certain to die old either.
Wow.
Like nothing's going to be a surprise, I guess is my point.
But you're not one of these people, like, do you think, like, if you make it to 70, will you be one of the people who go, it's all gravy from here on?
No.
Because nobody, it's a projection. I'm telling you right now, as a man who's not 25 anymore, it's a projection if you think when you get into your 60s, you're like, you know what, I've done a lot. I hope sweet death envelops its sticky arms around me.
All right.
Sounds good metaphor.
No, but on the flip side of that, I also kind of think anything from now on is all gravy too,
Right.
In some ways. But I don't frame my life. I think I picture my life as if I'm going to live a long one,
Mm-hmm.
But
that's how I think.
But maybe I'm also keenly aware that's, that is a best case scenario that doesn't, and best case scenarios are that for a reason.
Well, there's a lot of things that are starting to make the future. I see a familiar building that I've seen in the past at various places around the city.
This sounds like a dream.
Nope.
Okay.
There's a building that's going up near us.
Yeah.
With the familiar yet drab recognition of the outside of this new supermarket.
Ah, okay.
It's like, oh, I can tell they're almost done now, and yet it doesn't look that great.
No, it looks like one of the chains. No,
Yes.
it looks like one of the chains in this century as opposed to
that's true.
From the 60s.
I spend a fair amount.
I just want it open. I don't give a shit what it looks like.
I have spent a fair amount of time fantasizing about how sweet it's going to be.
And you still can't get an erection?
No, I still can't. No, that's the only thing that can get me around. I told you to not talk to the people on the podcast about it.
But you brought it up.
It's not that I can't get an erection. It's that it's not hard. Why did I think that was funny? It makes me laugh. Because there's all the outward appearances of erection.
Really?
Like if you look at it from the side,
Yeah.
it looks okay. But then when you push on it, it's an accordion.
It's pool with rope.
This is a joke. You should know that I am not impotent. I just choose not to be able to be aroused. No, that's not what the problem is. It's that what I've heard, first of all, I thought when you took like a Viagra that you just sat
It's
there.
Viagra, Andy. Come on. If
not
you're going to take it, say it right.
I thought when you took Viagra, what you do is you stand with your hips at hip level.
Yeah.
With your hands in your hips, and it's like a Superman thing.
Siri, set an alarm for 3 minutes, 59 seconds.
Yes. And then the big worry, honey, this is great, but if this goes over 4 hours. And by the way, for those of you who think, is this a joke? It's a joke. Nobody has to worry about my virility. Right?
I don't think either way they're going to worry about your
No,
virility.
they're not. I'm not sure.
I don't think anyone wants to picture your virility.
First of all, people would be neither excited by the fact that I'm shooting blanks or wasn't shooting blanks. I don't know what shooting blanks means. It means you don't have any.
It means you got no
semen.
swimmers.
All right, I hope that everyone can recover from this image of me as an old man.
my dentures and impotence.
Folks, what did we learn this week? I have dentures, and I have pill. I just want to talk to you tonight about a company called Roman. What you are laughing even more than I am.
I really am.
What are you thinking? Are you thinking about?
I'm just laughing at your decrepitness. I really,
Yeah.
I wish it was more complex than that.
If I was in the 80s, I would do a character like this. I am impotent man. You know the thing that's...
No, I'm laughing at your willingness to speak of it. I'm laughing with admiration.
That's the thing. All I care about is that my wife will hear that I've spoken about it. Not that I care that I'm a decrepit. What does she care? Nobody cares. What's the illusion that? Do I have to be sexy for this podcast to work? I've never been able to listen to those guys since I knew that Andy's got nothing. Andy's got a Gumby situation. No, it's not Gumby, right?
It's Zuzu.
Here's what I want you to do. I think my penis is normal. You look at it and you tell me what you think.
Ugh.
You do. I'm not folding it in half for anybody. Now look, folks, this was a moment. I don't want any letters about this. I don't want to hear one letter that goes, I would like to see James Mason meet Andy's limp penis in a bar. You have a penis like a Jew.
People are going to start sending in home remedies.
I bet Yoshi would be the first person who would send me some home remedies.
First, you take a hot bath.
First, you know what I used to do? This is a true story that I would try to keep my erection. When I first had sex, it was over very fast.
Yeah.
So I had to think about things sometimes to think about Kennedy being assassinated was a way for me to avoid premature ejaculation.
Yeah.
I guess figure since we're doing it all, let's put it all on the table now.
And then if you did it again, you call it the second gunman.
I wish I had an act with these kind of jokes. Why do I shy away from this in the act?
I don't know.
And yet in the
act's not being recorded.
Well, here's the thing. This is all a joke. We know that.
Yeah. I think really you could backfill this.
Are you as disgusted by the commercials with the big shovel? What's his name? Frank. Used to be a.
Oh, Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt.
The Big Hurt.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, I was just telling him he looks as great as when he was playing. I was just admiring this large black man here in the gym.
Oh, God,
I wish my husband could be more like this large black man.
Hey.
Well, he can.
And that's what goes, how would I...
Now that I'm back to firing.
And that one lady from the crowd, hey, what if I had a husband who had that problem with his...
Asking for a friend.
I can't believe those, and I can't believe I keep ordering Regen X. I'm okay now. Ooh.
I feel better too.
Ooh. Any developments with the? We're all done. Any new developments? But with the with the everything's with the Michael DeBar.
Everything's good. Everything's buckled down.
Have you been brainstorming about how you're going to support us this year?
Support us in what way?
Just get more money into the kitty.
I haven't yet.
How about stand? Are you planning on doing stand-up soon?
I got Gruber coming in.
That's right. How many times do you have to tell me?
That's going to replace my stand-up career.
No. Leave room. No, leave room for it.
No, I mean, the real truth, that is the reason, though, is just because I want to have a reason to perform.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And that will be fun, and that will be... If we get a set in town, I won't dread it for 4 days, because it'll be fun.
Yes, it'll be.
So I'm not giving up on stand-up, but this sounds like more fun to me right now. I just don't have, Really, once I did the album, it was kind of like, okay,
right?
Because my big beef was that I just hadn't left any footprint.
Right, I know
in doing stand-up, for all those years. So I feel like now that I kind of have, I can reassess and go, what does this mean to you now,
Right. Well, also the thing is...
but, once I have 10 minutes that I love, that'll change.
I think that's the thing, too, is like, once you it's like Ricky Gervais. He starts a new tour.
Right. But the thing with Gruber and I is that we've been doing stuff together for 30 years. We've literally been in a play, on TV, in a movie, made an album. We've done all those things together.
Would you say that's your closest collaborator in your life?
Well, he's I've also been on a staff with him. I've been, we toured with him. So,
so you were on Freaks and Geeks with him, right?
He was on Freaks and Geeks, but he wasn't a writer on that. But on later with Greg Kinnear, he was on staff. We were on staff together. That must have been
a fun environment, right?
Even
though you got burnt out by it, maybe, or you weren't burnt out by it.
Well, it was. There was different things going on, but there was a time when Madison, Gruber, and I all worked on that staff together.
So I would think that would be.
But we weren't allowed to work with each other, with that head writer. It was very frustrating.
In other words, since I don't know as much about the process as someone who's done it, is this to pair you off to write your script?
Well, this was talk show, so it's just writing.
Just working together,
jokes and writing lists and writing sketches and stuff. So but he didn't want anyone to work together. He thought that diluted something.
I think he thought that people were going to talk about him.
Maybe.
Do we know who he is? Or do I know who he is?
I don't know if you do.
Oh, okay.
He was a Groundlings person.
So.
But
that's kind of.
But I replaced him ultimately. So
that's a tough. I still think it still remains tough to be a showrunner for a talk show.
It's a grind.
Yeah,
it's a factory job.
Yeah, you can't, and not like Andy Warhol's factory.
No.
See, here, that was an example of, I wish I could have stopped saying that.
Well, when you have to record something that doesn't have a script, word association is a tool you often go with.
Well, it's good, though. It's been good that I listened to our show. I've listened to our show a couple of times in the last week, probably 15, 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
It's good for me to listen to it. Not too much.
Yeah.
You have to. But me?
What are your thoughts? What could we do better?
I think that what we could... there's nothing specifically about doing better. I still have a dream that if we mixed it up more and I came in with more ideas or there was more... Like, for example, I've got nothing for the break this week, and I wanted to have a song for the break, like a new song. So I have to go out and do stand-up more, or we have to... that's all I think about is...
Yeah, but that's artificial.
Yeah, that's true. What's the artificial?
Just the need to have something during the break.
Who cares?
We just started doing that. It's not
why
like
is
a
that
law.
the thing?
We could just say we're taking a break, and then I could edit it and say, and we're back, and have nothing there.
And nobody would care, probably.
Probably not.
And so, I guess, okay. So
here's what I will do for the break this week. Gruber and I will do something for the break.
Oh, yes. Oh, that would be so great. That's the kind of...
I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be Gruber and I.
Here's the way I honestly feel about the podcast right now. Besides the fact that I'm funneling money into a different project.
Yeah.
No, I feel that I'm enjoying myself.
Good.
And why am I enjoying myself? It only took me going
Hello? Who are you talking to? That's why you're enjoying yourself. Is my
I don't know
point.
what you mean.
I don't either.
Come on, why couldn't you have played that longer? You should have said, isn't there someone you see every week here that makes the time go faster? I still don't know what you're talking about. For bit purposes.
No. I don't want to step on your needy toes.
Oh, yeah. Because
that's your turf. I do James Mason, you do needy.
Yeah. If you could go, he's doing one of his needy things, which could go well unless I pour water on it. I realized that the negative things, if you take away the judgment from it, but the negative thing of like every 10 seconds, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk? What do you want? The more I can let that go,
right,
then it really is just a conversation. And it is just a conversation. So it's more like I'm generally having more fun.
Good.
So, but then I still think things like, will they get one day they'll boycott us too much listener mail. But there's nobody has cracked the safe of something brand new categories to do. It's not like if we could come up with like an origami section each week or.
Well, we started doing homework until it started feeling like homework.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I don't think it's not going to be the lack of format that makes people tire of us.
No. I am excited about adding Jen every month.
Does she know that?
No, she doesn't know.
Yeah, okay. Jen, you are coming back soon, though. We're going to start haranguing you soon.
Yeah, but then how's she gonna? She's gonna feel like we're pulling out of like taffy. No, that's an egg Krasnick.
You're tearing me apart.
And I amused myself this week just doing my own cotton candy grape skit.
Oh, that's good. You should do it at the store.
I can't get it all.
That's what I'm here for, the cotton candy grapes.
See how it, I had a joke for you now. Oh, I had a joke that I made at your expense the other night.
Oh, good.
Okay, so here's the joke. I just found out that Jeffrey Epstein pronounced his last name like Epstein. He was. Did you know that? He's Epstein, just like you're Weinstein. That was it. That's all I got. That turns out in retrospect, because you said you were glad that he was Epstein.
I don't say it like the rapist. No, it was Weinstein that I was talking about, not Epstein.
Oh, okay. So I'm making a different joke.
Yeah.
That if Epstein, but how would that affect Weinstein? Okay, I'll work on the joke.
Okay, bring it back.
Get
it back on the bench.
People love Jeffrey Epstein jokes. Okay, so there's another misconnection.
Yeah.
We haven't done misconnections on the show.
No, we should. I tried to do a joke about Jeffrey Epstein last week on the subway. You were sitting there looking perplexed. Call me.
I did have a married man moment the other day when I realized I asked someone about Craigslist, and I'm the last person.
I thought we were going to talk about your lack of erection again. Sorry.
I'm the last person to find out there's no more Craigslist. I have to drop my whole Craigslist personal chunk.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
What happened?
Too much sexual abuse.
Well, no, people were
too much human trafficking.
Yeah, but now that I hear that my back pages is gone and all,
Yeah, I know.
I keep wanting to draw you out, like, so that there'll be some information that you come out with that people go, why does he know about overnight delivery of back pages or something like that? No.
I'm clean on that
We're
front.
both clean. We're both, I think we're maybe two of the greatest, most respectful men.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Normally I would go, I got nothing. But right now I'm looking at you.
No, I've never even looked at the dating apps or any of those things.
Cool. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because that's a rookie move anyway, having that shit on your phone. So.
Which phone? You know,
Right.
I've got burner phones. I got gambling money. Oh, I use the burner phone, sure.
Sure.
But that's just for the cocaine.
Should we take a break?
I think we should take a break.
All right.
I felt that way even a minute ago.
I know.
So
when
can
we started
do it?
talking about the break.
What's that?
When we started talking about the break, is that when it started tickling you?
You're like it's unbelievable. How do you read in? You're like a Kreskin with actual, and we'll be back.
Here's Gruber and I doing something.
Yeah! That's going to be fun. That, I think, will be fun.
Big intro here. It's the Gruber segment. Hi, Gruber.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome to Thought Spiral.
Thanks, great to be here. Are you in a thought spiral or on a thought spiral?
You're spiraling.
I'm spiraling, yes.
You're spiraling along with us.
My life is
We're the break right now.
Well, my life is a maelstrom, so come on down with me.
I led Andy to believe like we might actually prepare something for this segment, but that wasn't really in the cards.
Hey,
but I
here's
did
something
get
for you.
my new
Speaking-
stylophone this morning.
It's nice. I love it.
That is a 1967 invented stylus-operated synthesizer, analog synthesizer, handheld.
And it's called Stylophone.
It's the
It's a
Stylophone.
trademark, so
That's
if you're
the
thinking
stylus.
of coming up with something like that,
Right.
better check the old patent office because Stylophone is a trademark.
Yeah. Don't even go close because they're litigious.
Here's the thing that surprised me,
This
though.
was used on
Go ahead.
Space Oddity and David Bowie's during the
That actual instrument was used on it?
not this particular one.
The Stylophone.
The stylophone
Thing
though, was
was-
used in Space Oddity during the solo of Space Oddity.
It really was?
Yeah.
I thought there was a saxophone in there, too.
No. Well, there might be, but
David
there's
Bowie
also
played saxophone, did he not? Among other things.
He did in his early
Yeah, and
incarnations,
so a lot of
yes.
people don't know that.
He had several goes at it before becoming the David Bowie we all know. Like he had a few albums. He had, he was going for fame.
Is that his real name, by the way, David Bowie?
David Jones.
David Jones is his name?
Yes, and
David Jones had already taken that
It was
name?
the monkey that fucked it up for him.
There's always a monkey.
That's right.
By the way, I was talking about jigsaw puzzles with our friend Gary Fox today.
Ah, Gary Fox.
And said how life is like a jigsaw puzzle. So if you took the painting, the George Seurat painting that hangs in the Art Institute of Chicago, the Sunday afternoon in the Grand Jeté or whatever it is, Sunday afternoon in the Park with George is basically what people think of.
Right.
And you're putting that together and you're saying, this is a metaphor for my life. Oh, I've got the lady with the umbrella, but where's the monkey? So I told Gary I'm going to write a book called Where's My Monkey?
Yeah.
Because there's a monkey in that painting, that
Right.
one. Hey, tell everybody about seeing 12 Monkeys with you and your wife, correct? And
Joel
our friend Joel
Madison,
Madison.
yes.
Tell them about that.
Gruber, like so many situations, fell asleep very early in 12 Monkeys. Woke up about somewhere in the third act and went, "What did I miss? What I missed?"
How many
it was
monkeys
about
did I
9
miss?
monkeys. I think
Yeah,
you missed
I think
about
I
9
missed
monkeys. at
about
that
9
point.
monkeys. Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you going to do?
He's a cheap date, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't eat much popcorn, did I? Because I love eating, as you know.
No,
And
I'm
I
guessing
put it-
you finished your popcorn and then fell
And
asleep.
then fell asleep.
During the previews.
Yeah. I enjoy previews.
I don't mind previews.
All right. Why do they call them trailers?
They're at the beginning. Am I
Trailing
right?
what, though? See, it makes no
Exactly.
sense. I often wondered about that. Oh, did you see that trailer?
Yeah.
Trailer? What?
I'm not sure why they call them trailers.
I know, weird, right?
Yeah, I bet someone knows.
Maybe one of your listeners can type that into a note.
Sure. Or one of us could type it into a search bar. So you and Andy go back almost as far as you and I.
Oh, yeah, way back.
If not farther. What would you put your Andy Kindler origin story at?
I would say we probably saw Andy Kindler at the Variety Arts Center. Does that sound right? Maybe.
That would be 1990-ish?
No, it would be 1986.
Okay, so you actually know Andy longer than I.
I'm going to say, yeah.
Because we met in 87.
Okay, I don't remember that, but...
I wasn't that. Yeah. that fat kid with hair.
You had a lot of hair.
I had a lot of hair. Sweet, sweet Jew, luscious Jew hair.
It was wavy and fantastic.
It was
great. I had a lot of hair too. Most of it is turned
still
gray
do.
now. Well,
now it's, a lot of it is, below the neck.
Do your listeners know the term long bald hair?
I don't know if they do.
You used it yesterday,
I
go, I don't know if I buy that but you said it's a thing.
I think long bald hair is a thing. And it's mostly characterized by the guys who have the fringe but the ponytail.
Okay, yeah.
That would be the prototypical long bald hair for me.
Right.
You're right at the, your hairline's at the equator on the top, I would say.
It's Ecuador.
Yeah.
Galapagos Island kind of. Yeah.
But I'm not lumping you in with long bald hair. I would say you have receding hairline, long hair.
Right. Now, who was you
also have a look that you have to sort of keep intact.
I don't have to keep it.
Who's Gruber, your agent's on the phone.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. He's wondering if you're free on next Thursday. The New Yorker needs a model for the guy hanging on the wall in the dungeon cartoon.
Wow, some print work. I would love that. I haven't done any print work. The guy hanging on the wall in the dungeon.
This is a look ahead in your calendar on.
Yeah.
He wants to know about New Year's Eve.
I think I'm never busy.
Yeah,
so.
They need someone to play the outgoing year.
Nice.
Do you have access to a baby?
A big baby in a diaper?
Yes.
Don't know.
Just actually a little baby.
I have a sash.
Actual size baby.
Little baby. Yeah. I have a sash and a scythe.
Well, that's
so I'm almost in.
You're there. We won't mention the baby though.
Can I get car?
Will take care of it.
Can I get car service to the gig? As you know, I love taking my bus. So
I know you do, but we can't have you walking the streets dressed as Father Time.
I think it would make some people wake. Don't you think?
No. Well, if you wear the outfit but carry a "the end is near" sign, then I think you can make it through.
Yeah.
I love radio visual jokes.
I do too. Come on, that's what it's all about.
What's your favorite Andy Kindler joke?
The Tu Bishvat joke.
Okay.
Did he write it or did Joel Madison write it?
I don't know.
There's some controversy.
Tell us the joke.
Can you believe with the Hanukkah decorations already? It's not even Tu Bishvat.
Okay.
It's a great joke.
Straight ahead, yeah. Pure.
That one that took some deep Wikipedia searching to go, what is it? When is it? How do you spell it? Right? Different spellings, as you can imagine, right? I think it's in February this year, 58, 96, or wherever we're at in the Jewish calendar.
There is a family story where there was a divorce. My father's sister was getting divorced.
Okay.
And
is this a true story?
Is it
true family story?
True family story. Yeah. When someone, it probably was a custody thing, but someone mentioned Tu B'Shvat. Oh,
no way.
In court, to which the judge replied, "Tube of who?"
Nice. That's pretty great.
Yeah. That's all I got on that. But
you know what? There was humor that came out of the most trying of circumstances. That's what you got, right? Like Kramer versus Kramer.
Right.
Hilarious comedy.
Exactly.
That came out of the struggle of Meryl Streep versus Dustin Hoffman.
Crazy ice cream conflict.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Did you see Marriage? Really what's it called? Marriage Story?
I have not yet. It seems a little overwrought.
I think I'm just going to avoid it because I was married, and I don't know if I want to revisit that right now. Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe once you start drinking.
Was there drinking in Marriage Story?
No, I'm just saying that's what it would take for you to get to that place where you go, this is for me.
Hey, speaking of New Year's, I had one beer on New Year's because the guy in the checkout line, I was in Utah at the time, Salt Lake City, and he goes, "What are you doing for New Year's?" And it was New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah.
And I really hadn't thought about it. It was about 6 o'clock.
Right.
And I go, I'm going to have a beer.
Yeah.
So I turned around from the counter, went back to the cold beer. And I don't know if you know this, and of course, it was starting January 1 in Utah. It's now 5% beer.
Yeah.
So I had a 3.5, the last of the 3.5s, Local brews, tasty.
Yeah.
You went to beer. Can I plug them?
Was it a 40 at least?
And it was not. It was a 12-ounce beer.
Man.
That was my New Year's.
Man.
What'd you do?
It was like a can.
How exciting was yours?
I had Andy Kindler to my home with his wife.
Come on.
And I made
Did you stay up till
I made
midnight?
a sous vide prime rib.
Oh my gosh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
What'd you pair it with?
Yeah. Where's your sass now? One
No,
beer.
it went away. You know what? I took off the front S. Now it's just ass.
That's right. That's your
me.
pirate name from now on. One beer.
Wow, what a delightful New Year's then.
It really was.
Did you actually ring in 12 midnight?
We did. Well,
Right.
yeah. 3 out of 4 of us did.
Who dozed
Allison
off?
went to bed.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't blame her.
I don't either, especially with us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been a delightful break, Gruber.
Yeah, really fun.
Well, that was why.
it?
Why did you suddenly discover sarcasm
I don't
for
know.
that?
I don't know. Don't you guys do that for about 155 minutes?
We do, but no one expects it from Gruber.
Okay.
All right.
I love you all. I love you and I love
Okay,
everybody.
I just wanted to give everyone a taste of Gruber, who we've mentioned
Thanks,
quite
man.
a bit.
I appreciate it.
Because you're a big part of our lives.
Oh, thanks, man.
But Mr. Sass showed up.
Uh-oh.
I turned it off.
What's it called again? Stylophone?
Stylophone.
Stylophone.
This is what we call in show business the stylophone outro.
Let's hear it. Nice.
And wait a second.
And we're back.
Yeah. I can't believe that thing. I have a question about that bit that we just heard.
What's that?
Okay.
Okay.
I understand why there was a pie involved. I get why there was water.
Yeah.
But why the cursing? Why the blue?
To make it funny, Andy.
That's right. Now, this will be hilarious when you realize I didn't know what the bit was.
Even funnier when I don't.
You know what my motto is?
Who gives a shit?
That's right. You could guess. You know what I always say? Can we wrap it up early tonight? I got to go home.
Let's do some questions, huh?
I will do some questions, but I will say to you, I'm embarrassed about one thing. I brought you a baby Jeter, which you'll have after the show if you want it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Did you want to do it now? Is that your...
No. But I went in and asked for a baby Teeter.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Teeter. And the lady said it's a Jeter. And I was like, oh, my God. And then my OCD brain was like, does she think I'm thinking it's a baby's teat?
Oh, my God.
Then she said to me, a lot of people call it Teeters because the J is written like a T.
Right.
And then she called the police, which I thought was odd.
Right. Well, thanks for bringing that.
I know you wish that. Oh, yeah. I love them. I admired them. They're infused. They're the greatest thing ever. I'm even going to give you, if you want, your own.
Wow. Full disclosure, I do have a couple upstairs.
That doesn't matter.
So if you want to keep it.
No, I really feel like I need to be the better person in this relationship.
All right. Okay. Well, good luck with that.
Like how many... Are you saying that that's not based simply on cigarettes and things? And joints? Now all I can think of is did I bring 2 with me? What's that sound?
That's your keys.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's stop now, Andy.
Let's stop now.
We'll
Let's stop.
we'll share that one at the end.
Okay, if we have
And then you'll be okay to get home 4 blocks.
Wait, we'll see. I'm taking. I know this is not right. Okay. I know it's not this.
Do you need it, though? Do you need to finish the thought?
No, because I'm cured.
All right.
Therapy tomorrow.
All right.
And now it's time for
no theme song, nothing?
nothing.
Wow.
Okay, you ready?
Okay.
I think I'd like to write to my friends at the Thought Spiral Show. I think I'll give it a shot.
All right.
Viewer letters. Readers' letters.
Setek the Third
I miss him.
says there's a movie called The Sandpiper where Morgan Mason that plays the son of Elizabeth Taylor. Richard Burton also stars. Morgan is the 9-year-old son of James Mason. Can you ever imagine the set? Coincidentally, are you available for a TCM cruise departing from Long Beach?
Is that a real cruise?
I think there is a TCM cruise, but he's not authorized to invite us. I don't think.
Is Ben Mankiewicz on that cruise?
Sure.
Is Josh Mankiewicz on that cruise?
I doubt it. No, he's on the murder cruise.
Murder. That's got to be. Do they have a Dateline cruise and one of the guests gets killed?
I would be not at all surprised, except for the killed part.
Yeah. Did you sign a release?
9-year-old James Mason and Morgan Mason I'm 9 years old and I'm living my best life. Morgan Mason, ladies and gentlemen.
Why am I not understanding the Morgan Mason part?
He's the son of James, 9-year-old son of James Mason.
I always forget the premises. It's one of my weaknesses.
No Peg says, hey, just checking with Andy. Does the name Zuzu ring any bells?
Yes. You know, I'm very embarrassed that I did not remember this, but Zuzu on an episode of Superman was when they went to the island and they were fighting the evil professor. His name was Zuzu. No, it's the youngest daughter of Jimmy Stewart, and he looks up at this guy and goes, That's right, Zuzu. That's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna wink like a guy from vaudeville now.
Seth Dick III says again. Seth Dick III.
2.
Yeah, different days he sent them on. He sends them early. He'll send them during the week,
But not different dicks.
No, and the same number.
I was very proud of that one.
Really.
Not really.
Seth Dick says the Daytona 500 is on. Should I be lobotomized? Asking Howard Cosell and Foster Brooks.
Tonight, this is the 15,000th running of the Daytona 500. Tonight, competing is Tito Puente, who happens to have been from the race car team of Andretti from the Republic Domingue, and Roberto Del Bisona Peru.
Buffalo.
What?
He was sober. Foster Brooks is sober for the Daytona 500.
I like that. I like that. But he still has
This
problems.
car's from Buffalo. Yeah, that's what he sounds like sober.
Yeah, no, but I still have the desire to see him talking that.
Hello, John. Yes,
Yes.
the drum character is never cranky. He's simply trying to hide the fact that he's inebriated.
Excuse me, Johnny, was that question for my character of the inebriated comedian?
Well, John, Television Savalas says,
Still a classic name.
I'm doing 30 minutes of stand-up at a casino Saturday. How do I fit my name, Television Savalas, in there? I'm loyal to only one podcast, and it's yours. How weird is that?
I think it's cool.
It's a little weird, though. I agree.
You mean he only listens to one?
He's only loyal to one.
Yeah, well, I think it's good. That everybody
No, I
has
think
to
it's
have
awesome. It is weird.
It's just why.
I'm agreeing that it's weird.
And also, I hope you know that it's going to be weird doing the casino. Is he a comedian?
You fit it in with your Players Club chunk. That's how you get Television Savalas into your casino set.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It's not just for Thursdays and Fridays. Television Savalas. Now, is he just getting into comedy?
I don't know. I'm guessing he's a little into it if he's doing 30 minutes at a casino.
So I just think he knows it's going to be
If this is
rough.
his first set,
It could be
that's going to be bad.
No, but it could be. It's. I have never had. I've had very few good casino gigs.
Yeah. Well, why would you?
Is that a slam on me or a slam on the floor?
No, more you.
Okay, good.
More you and your inability to adapt.
Yeah, well, are you good at adopting the? I guess you were okay, right? At adopting the
A
different.
little better, probably.
Yeah, but you didn't. If you went 5 more years on that circuit as it started to deteriorate.
Well, I would.
we were both
I would
on.
have shot myself in year 3. So. Yeah, no. I mean, I was never. I mean, I was never a power act. Anyone who's listened to my album can see that I'm more.
He killed. He
I'm more
slayed them.
evening with material. Greg Kelly says, I really enjoyed the end of the NBA All-Star game, Josh. Please try to explain the format of the fourth quarter to Andy. Well, he didn't see it. That's not.
What is this a famous game?
This was the All-Star game yesterday.
Oh,
They're using what's called the Elam ending.
Jason Elam?
No,
Is that a name, Jason Elam?
it is a name. I believe he played for the Broncos.
All right, so this is, what does it mean, the Elam method?
The Elam ending is a way of ending a basketball game where you play to a number of points in the last quarter. Like the true Elam ending is you get to 4 minutes left in the game, I think, and then instead of there being a clock from that point on, it's the first team to score 8 points over the higher number teams total.
Oh.
So you eliminate all this fouling to stop the clock. You eliminate, timeouts to preserve, it's all about getting to score or stopping the other team from scoring rather than riding out the clock.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it works great.
But you wouldn't want a rule shift to that, would you?
Yeah, certainly I think they're going to keep the All-Star game. What they did it last night. The last quarter was they played to 24 points over the higher score in honor of Kobe Bryant, 24.
Oh, cool. But
it worked great. People were playing much more engaged basketball than you would see in an All-Star game.
But they don't have a thing, but does it matter who won in terms of the postseason? It's not like
no,
baseball or anything like that.
It does not. All right. Dan Marsh says, hi,
Boy,
guys.
you became a host.
Yeah. Hi, guys. You can travel back in time at the age you are now to be a guest on one classic late-night talk show. Which host is it? Who are the two other guests? And who's the musical act?
Oh, my God. Well, I'm going to go with Warren Zevon because that's just...
On what show?
Letterman. What am I doing wrong about this? Am I not getting the exercise like with Bill Murray and maybe Amy Sedaris?
Which Letterman?
The one that was on NBC.
Okay.
I love him all the way through, but that would be my favorite. But I'm not really.
You wouldn't have had Amy Sedaris on that one, probably.
I don't know why I'm not good at these things.
No, it's similar to the answer I would probably give. I would be like Late Night with David Letterman on NBC. Maybe circa 1983.
Yeah.
I'd want Harvey Picar.
Oh.
Maybe Andy Kaufman.
Oh, that would be great.
And then I could be the easy guest.
Jerry Lawler too? No, wouldn't be.
No, that's like I want to build my own episode.
And I wouldn't want a Chris.
And then I'd have probably Elvis Costello be the musical guest.
That would be great. That would be good. You know what? Excellent question. That's what they do in the news now. Good question.
But
excellent question.
Talking to Meryl Marco a couple of weeks ago, and that show was so formative to me.
Was it fun to talk to her about it?
Yeah.
And you already know the stuff about how they couldn't do things that were like Tonight Show things. They couldn't do a monologue.
Yeah, but she plays that down big time.
Oh, in other words, that was exaggerated?
I can't do the monologue or have a guest sit on the couch. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I can't have a host sit on the couch and I can't do a monologue, full monologue. That was their rules.
Yeah.
She's like, I think I can work around that.
Right. Well, I always wonder, though, I don't think it was necessary. The more I watch old.
Those were Johnny's rules.
Yes, I could. Yeah, that he said no monologue at all.
No.
Long.
Yeah, he went up and made comments at the beginning of the show, obviously, but he couldn't do a news of the day monologue.
I'm starting to really learn more about Johnny from watching every week his show, because one of the things you learn is that he loved the monologue. And he loved doing political material.
Yeah.
But you could almost tell that he wasn't annoyed by it, but you could tell that everybody was not resonating with the thing he was making the joke about. Like it wasn't as much in everyone's mind as it was in his mind. That's just my feeling I got from watching him do political stuff, and then because he was always great at abandoning material or commenting on material.
Right, but you always had that thing. It wasn't, it's like you had an audience for that show in the room. Johnny had an audience in that room that hadn't seen the news that day.
That's true.
They didn't have cable news, and they were there all day waiting in line, so they didn't see the evening news that night. So he was, in fact, informing them, his audience in the studio, of the news sometimes,
Right, and the other interesting thing is to go back and when George Bush was depicted as the old George Bush.
Yeah.
He was a knucklehead in a way. I mean, he wasn't like a knucklehead, but they made fun of him.
He was depicted as a wimp initially. That was the first caricature of him.
And then I guess Ronald Reagan was like so ripe for
doddering jokes,
but nothing. But I do remember when Dave, he would submit stuff to Dave. He loved to submit. Johnny did love to submit jokes to Dave, uncredited jokes.
Right.
And when he died, let him do the whole monologue of his jokes.
Right.
Anyway, I really do like watching that show again because it
sort of demystifies it as well as, it cements it as like, he was great at it.
Yes.
But, as you watch the shows get into the late 80s, you go, he wasn't wrong to quit, He was aging out of the job.
No question about it.
And it wasn't hip anymore. You could feel how when you watch the 70s episodes, how this probably was the hippest thing on television, sort of,
Yeah.
in that moment. And you watch the 80s episodes, that's not the case anymore.
No, and the thing is that, like sometimes I saw something that was really cool where he had these people come in and they did monologue jokes. And so they came out and they walked to their spot and they did monologue jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw him introducing these people, I realized that the thing that I loved about Letterman was when he would do the thing where you thought it was a fake expert and it wasn't a fake expert. I don't know if it was one guy who did it all the time, but it was always someone who claimed to be somebody, and then it would just horribly go wrong. And it was different things. Like one guy got really mad every time he couldn't do the trick that he was supposed to do. Does it ring a bell?
No, because you're telling it very poorly.
Well, that's always true. He'd like say, tonight we have the world's greatest magician. He would come out, and the guy would not be the world's greatest magician.
Right.
He's like someone on the staff.
Right.
And he would do that a lot. And he was basing it on old Johnny bits. The other thing he would do is he would have someone from the audience, and he would just try to fuck with them. It was prearranged.
Right.
But they would say, "I'm a lawyer," but then Letterman would go, "Where'd you go to law school? Where'd you do this?" And to me, that was always funny because I knew that he was fucking with them, and they had to like ad lib in the moment who they were.
Right.
And we'll be back with more. Either the story's not good or the explanation's bad.
Andy takes the good stuff and makes it bad.
But we're back. This is a famous. Remember that Ed Ames thing? Let me make that story worse.
Sous Vide says, "Is it true that as a boy, Howard Cosell almost got washed away by a large wave while his mother watched in horror on the beach?"
He had a hat.
Why is his mother like him? He had a hat. He had a hat.
Mike Rowe says, "Well, spring is coming, and that means spring cleaning. If you could eat whatever you wanted without worrying about health, what music would you want to listen to while you ate?"
That's a good one because he keeps going you in 12 directions
Yes,
there.
it's gold.
What music would I think I'd like to play that funky music, White Boy?
I'd go Cabbage Rolls and Coffee by the Schmeggy Brothers.
How does that go?
Cabbage Rolls and Coffee! Good.
We'd like to thank the...
It's Yash and Stan Schmeggy. We're the Happy Wanderers.
Oh, my God, those guys are good. How come I never was as good as that? What?
M. Ledson
M. No,
is for the many things
she says to us.
M. Ledson says, "Do I have a question?" Nope. Love you guys.
Oops, I did not mean to hiccup.
That was a belch hiccup, too.
Both.
That was a yawn belch hiccup, I think.
And I'm not bragging. I'm not one of these guys who goes, "Look, I'm a man and I can burp. Would you like to hear how it sounds?" That's not me.
No, it's not. You just do it.
And yeah, because it's part of life.
Exactly. What, do you want me to explode? Huh? Mark Thompson says, "Do you think your friendship is stronger since starting Thought Spiral?" I think indubitably.
Indubitably it is, yeah. I mean, the thing...
That's what happens when you talk to somebody for 300 fucking hours.
It could go the other way.
It's true.
Often does. It could be the thing where they never talked until the podcast started.
That's right.
No, we are also deeply in love. If you want me to cheapen it, I cheapen it.
Now that it's safe that your winky doesn't work.
It's not that it doesn't work. It doesn't work well. You know, some women in some countries, a completely flaccid penis is considered more virile.
Really?
And I told her I'm not folding it in half for anybody. That's a joke. For those of you who are wondering, obviously it's a joke. You know what the truth is? I never recovered from the moil.
Really?
Yeah. Because
he cut off the pizza and calzone, and
what bothered me was he took a little bit around the ears off. And how close are my ears to my penis? Please go with another letter before I continue.
All righty. Carrie Wheaton says, wondering if Andy has acid flashbacks when he hears Taking Care of Business, Test Show 141. That story was hilarious and all too relatable.
Do you know that I have done a thing online from Comedy Central, which I do Hugh Hauser, because this is from the original story.
Yeah.
It's me taking shrooms and describing how I tried to watch TV and Hugh Hauser came on.
Yeah.
And it's animated. It's available for people on Comedy Central.
There you go. Look it up.
Can't you feign interest? Can't you go, that sounds pretty cool?
Does that sound like me?
No. This sounds like you. Hey, man. Remember I told you I had an impression of you?
Yeah.
You couldn't have been less impressed. Hey, man. How's it going? Hey, man. That's okay, man.
I think it's spot on.
I don't know why you
it's
are
like
so
listening
resistant.
in a mirror.
It's like looking in the mirror. It's like looking in the mirror, except you're looking at somebody else doing an impression of you.
Right.
Me and you are like that famous...
It's like looking in a mirror in a Right Guard commercial from the 70s.
Hey, guy.
Hi, guy.
I still love it. Chuck McCann.
Jim Iannone says, road trip. Who's in the car? Is it just you two, or are you inviting someone? Alive or dead? What's the destination?
I kind of like... Did you ever see that movie, Paradise? It was like a black and white movie made with Jim Jarmusch.
Yeah.
I would like to make that kind
Strangers
of movie.
in Paradise?
Yes, I'd like to make that kind of movie with you.
Yeah.
Where we're in the black and white in the car. We drive down to the thing.
What's the thing?
Florida.
Okay.
And
I'd go the opposite. I'd put us on the Alaskan highway.
ooh,
Drive to Alaska, baby.
okay. The main thing with us is that we need to make road trip movies like the Bob Hope movies,
Right.
which are funny on paper.
There's some funny stuff
I know
in
they're
there.
good. I retract it. I retract everything.
Yoshi Yamamoto. Yoshi Yamamoto. Yoshi Yamamoto. Yoshi Yamamoto.
Yoshi
Yoshi Yamamoto. Yoshi Yamamoto.
Yoshi
Yoshi Yamamoto. Yoshi Yamamoto. Yoshi Yamamoto. Yoshi Yamamoto. Yoshi Yamamoto. It's a big time to be spiraling. How many runoff downloads do you think you guys will get from the new Chris Rock horror movie Spiral?
What's this?
I don't know. It's Chris Rock's in a new movie Spiral, apparently.
Oh, I didn't know that. Although I think I did make the point that when I saw Chris Rock and Steve Martin out together, I said to myself, this is all you need to do. Get two guys like that every year, or a woman and a guy, whatever it is. I like Amy Poehler and the other lady. It works. That should be the format. Oh, my God, Josh. Oh, my bad ideas hurt my heart.
But it was.
What? Just for that one thing. I'm saying the whole night.
Yeah.
Have Chris Rock and Steve Martin. Or Amy Poehler and the Mrs.
Yeah, but how much do you really see the host that much?
Oh, God. I wish I hadn't talked. No. You know what ruined it, though? The desire to have a hilarious bit in the middle of him, like, I'll order pizza. That's what I think ruined the hosting.
You think?
No. Do you think it's healthy that I bail out of my crazy crackpot
It's better.
theories?
It's frankly more. It's better than you digging in.
Yeah. True. Also, me going on with, why can't I review the Curb? See, I never know, though. You brought Curb back this week because it was particularly bothering you.
Yeah.
But it made sense. Is it over? The year over for that show? I mean...
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh. Of course, if I had been cast this year, I'd be so much like, don't talk about it.
Yes, you would, and I would probably oblige you.
I know, sadly.
But since you're on the outs with all those people...
I decided I do need to make amends to more people. Not that that's important.
After the Jeff Garland?
Yes. I feel that there are people I went after only because of my own issues. Like, for example, Margaret Cho.
Yeah.
I went after. And I realized in retrospect, why was I going after Margaret Cho? She's a nice person.
Right.
So I think that I was very angry at the time. You know, I used to be more angry.
I did know that.
So I'm going to make amends to some people. Hitler too. Do you think that's a silly thing to do?
I think it could end up being
horrible,
more self-absorbed than.
It already sounds like it's all about me. I already see myself with a camera crew.
Because it starts with you assuming that Margaret Cho gives a shit.
She doesn't give a shit. And the thing is, first of all, why do I have to make a big deal out of it? I could just mention it to her.
Right.
Instead of doing a life goal.
Send her a DM. Hey, I was just thinking about what a dick I was. Sorry about that.
That's good. I like that one. Because the thing I can't stand now is that they're doing a lot of these things where they give someone like $1 million in the street, or they give them $100 and they just film the person's reaction to the good deed.
Right.
I don't like that anymore. Do you know what I'm referring to?
No, but I pictured it as soon as you said it.
I paid your bill. I paid your Whopper bill. What? Oh, thank you.
I was having the worst day, and you changed everything about my view of humanity.
You wanted to hear my crying?
Sure.
Hey, Josh. She's gone, Josh. My wife or somebody close to me.
That I'll play for Susan.
My wife or somebody close to me is dead. My wife or someone similar.
Jim Iannone.
Jimmy Iannone. Jim Iannone.
Is it possible, or either of you, to pronounce my last name the way we Italo-Americans do?
How do you? Iannone.
Well, or Iannone.
Iannone.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. Why did you have to make it such a fucking uncomfortable thing, Jim Iannone?
I think it's weird that people.
Is that an Italian-American thing?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but you're trying to. Is that Jewish guilt or Italian-American guilt?
Justin Faulkner says, Andy, I have a Martin acoustic and a Fender Esquire. What do you like to play? No impersonations required for your answer.
I play a Guild D50 because I've had it since 1975, and it's really an amazing guitar.
Only 3 payments left.
And I had an Ibanez Les Paul copy, which I loved. My ex-girlfriend has it. I gave it to her. And then I currently have a Fender Strat that I don't play. And I just told Susan the other day, I want to learn to play drums.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, great. Sounds great. So hear me out. No, that's exactly what I'm looking for. You couldn't have given me better news. Or set up somewhere in the house, in our small house, and a pounding but I'm thinking of electronic drums. And she's like, no, let's talk about it longer. I do kind of want to do that, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
I got to go guitar first.
Yeah.
I want the guitar on the wall. You have it on the wall. That's what I want.
I don't have it on the wall.
All right, well, just
I got them on stands in the music.
Yeah, well, you have them ready to go. You have a regular size house.
Yeah.
You never believed I had a house, and thank God I proved it.
Shiftless Element says, watching too much cable news again. Does Andy have one of those heavily advertised, seemingly magic devices that cleans CPAP equipment with no fuss? I've heard that product come to fruition after a successful pitch on Preschool Shark Tank.
Hey, it's a machine. First you take the thing out of your face, and then you put it in the box, and then all the germs go poof, and then you take it out, and it tastes like candy in your nose.
That sounds very good.
It's nose candy.
How much do you need for this project?
I need $53 million for a 3% share of the company.
Next week.
We'll see the answer coming up on Preschool Shark Tank.
Did you imagine there's a regular host, or is it a Kittle host?
It's a kid host.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, how's it go? Welcome to Preschool Shark Tank.
That look that you gave me right then was like, oh, This could be our $1 million.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that.
I know it wasn't.
It was gas.
Boom.
Justin Faulkner's back to twist the knife a little. Andy, how's that album coming along?
Huh? It is coming along. I have developed news on the album.
Yeah? You handed it over to Bruce at Christmas.
Well, I didn't really. That meant I handed it over to him in mid-January.
Okay.
We're going to put it online first. Just make up a front of the cover. And then so that we can get it out fairly soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then we'll do the physical thing. But I sound excited about it. Or don't do the physical thing.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is an interesting thing you're saying. Because there was a part of me that was saying, and I want your honest opinion about this.
Okay.
I have gone to clubs and I felt horrible. I liked it when I had something new to sell.
Right.
So it was new. But now I'm saying, is that thinking ridiculously? Should I just not think about it would be nice to have those physical CDs?
Well,
I could use the money. I've never been crazy about selling things. How do you feel about selling things?
I think it's so much the norm now that there's nothing that uncomfortable about it. I don't like it. I don't like hanging out after the show all that much even.
Right.
I'm not one of those guys who loves, the reception line after a show.
I like Minneapolis because you're just in the bar.
Yeah.
And so you don't feel like you're waiting at
But a lot of people do set up camp in Minneapolis by the,
by the time, as people leave type of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, that's the question, How many will you sell?
And also, it's just a pain in the... Then I'm back to the...
You're checking an extra bag if you're bringing a meaningful amount of merch with you.
Yeah, I'm 72 now, and I'm checking my... Yeah. It makes an argument... It makes me start to lean towards this could be all done within a month, and the comedy's the main thing. And
I think so. Especially since, it's not new.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's...
You mean it's just... I updated a lot of the references even more.
Oh, that's fantastic. Here come the dogs.
Here come the dogs. Hi ho the dairy. And we'll take a couple seconds break here.
We're going to
Where's Clyde?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it escalates.
You know what's so funny? That Lucky gave you a look as it looked like, yeah, I'm at the door. Let's move it along.
Yeah.
I think you have the greatest dogs in the world. And we're still arguing. Not arguing. We're not arguing at all, but we don't know if we just don't know if we can commit to a dog. And now I feel guilty because I get a lot of loving from Lucky.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not hurting you by not having a dog.
Not at all.
Okay.
I love dogs. I think there's a lot of things about your life that say
dog
is good. You walk a lot.
That's true.
You
can you walk for like a long time with your doggies?
No, but I have a big yard.
Oh, okay. But conceivably, a man like me could be walking down the street with my friend Rex.
Yeah, and the fact that you don't have a yard, you're going to have to walk down the street with your friend Rex.
And is that when I start doing the inappropriate flirting with the 50-year-old ladies?
Whatever gets you on the street.
Have you seen my dog? Get out of here, sir, please.
Sir,
get out. It's very hard to walk.
It didn't improve your Q factor one little bit, sir. You're still a creep.
Here's my impression of me once I have a dog. I don't know. What's that in his mouth? What is that in his mouth?
No, I mean, there's that. There's like, you'll have like new parent panic, But I got your back. I'll talk you through a lot of it.
I know, because I actually, you're...
also get a dog that my dog's like, and then,
But you can never know that, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to get a very, like a very pushy dog.
Well, he will be once he spends some time with you.
So, Clyde, I just want to say I've never been here for this, and Clyde did not come down.
He did not. But it was, they're inconvenient.
Yeah. But there's so much
You got to
love.
want it, but there's a lot to love once you got it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll put a pin in it.
Yeah. I'll help you look for them, though.
I want to spend less than $5,000. Just kidding.
Price isn't a big issue since you'll be rescuing.
I know. I would be going through a puppy pound.
And Justin Faulkner comes back to say, no question, just wanted a third thing. Larry Harold says, hello, funny and funnier. You know what you are. Don't ever stop. What's your favorite black and white sitcom? Ooh.
I have to say,
Dick Van Dyke Show for me.
The Dick Van Dyke Show or The Honeymooners, but the Dick Van Dyke Show is ultimately a better show, but they're both hilarious. But the Dick Van Dyke Show, you can watch longer, and it's in my memory that black and white.
Yeah.
Wait a sec. How long was it black and white for?
Always.
Wow. Man. Can't think of anything else that would be up to that level. I think early Andy Griffith shows were great.
Yeah.
And it was great in black and white.
Yes. Yeah, well, I'm thinking more, but undoubtedly the Dick Van Dyke Show is...
I guess we have to say I Love Lucy.
My
I never
favorite.
say I Love Lucy to anything anymore because I loved it.
Yeah.
But I can't honestly bring it out now because everyone's talked about it.
Right.
And they got into color quick? Not...
They never got in color either.
Oh, I'm thinking of Here's Lucy. That's the first time I literally was thinking of Here's Lucy.
Right.
Whoa, Viv. It's William Holden, Viv.
Mrs. Carmichael.
Whoa, Viv.
John Kovaleski, cartoonist, says, from the Has This Joke Been Made Before department, I heard there was a falling out between the Mason brothers years ago. You see, James was a stand-up comic, but Jackie stole his act. Yes, we have gone down this road.
We did?
Yes, we
Jackie and James.
Yes, we have.
What are you talking about?
Yes, we
I don't
have.
remember. I don't remember.
We've done this bit before.
I don't remember
We've
doing
done
the
this bit. Yes, we've done this bit more than once now.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I am not reuniting with you, Jackie. to
We're
do this
not
bit.
relatives at all.
I'm not doing this.
I'm a Jew.
We're not. I'm tearing my clothes.
You're James Mason. I'm Jackie Mason.
There's a great special about Sammy Davis Jr. It's really good on like PBS.
Yeah.
And I'd forgotten the part where he did great impressions of singers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was kind of like surprise. It wasn't surprising, but it hadn't been done that much before.
I believe it was the American Masters.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good. GW 1972 says, how will it end? I mean, all of it. What's the end game? Be well, guys. Love you.
Well, I think there's two ways it could all end. I'm getting interested in this singularity thing. I don't know what it is, but it sounds interesting. Do you know what it is?
Yes, it's the government pays for every health care.
I think that, well, part of it is I in a very selfish way, I feel like I've made it over the hump in life.
Yeah.
But that's bullshit. Because if I was going to, tomorrow there was going to be nuclear war, you think I'm going to be sitting around going, it's been good so far?
Yeah.
I'll be panicking like everybody else. I'm worried about everything, but then I think that everyone's always been worried about everything, but that doesn't stop something from happening.
Right.
How do you think it all ends? It maybe doesn't end. But aren't you worried that, ba-boom?
Not so worried about Baboom.
Okay.
But,
You know what I mean by ba-boom? It's not an M80. I'm talking about nuclear.
oh, shit, that's terrifying. No, I mean, I grew up worrying about Baboom.
Yes.
So,
Please don't call it ba-boom again.
Baba Boomy. I think, the planet's going to shake us off like a dog coming out of a water.
That's true. I am still very comforted by things that I don't even know if this song was written to be. Oh, just forget it. A distant. What's the distant civil? I know a distant lover that's dying in the corner of the sky. What's that song? These are the days of miracle and wonder.
Boy in the Bubble.
Yeah, so it's like I hear those songs and like a lot of times Paul Simon's writing about apocalyptic things, but I do think about the fact that when you go into the further from the earth and you see everything in its beauty, that there is something ultimately, it does keep going on and so it doesn't matter that this earth will eventually explode, except to the people on the planet.
But Earth won't eventually explode.
How come?
Because that's not what it's destined to do.
It'll burn out.
The sun will burn out. The Earth is a rock.
The earth is rock. The sun will burn out, in which case it will be very cold here.
Yes.
So you'd have to have heaters and when is this 1 billion years away or 1 million years away?
I think it's 30.
30 million.
No.
Billion?
No, 30.
Oh, that's close.
It's 29.
That's. Would you be willing to go in on a like a bunker? Me and you with a bunker, That's for me, you, Allison, and Susan. And you know what my favorite part of the bunker is going to be? Get out of here, you pigs. Don't try and get in our... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the people are trying to come in. Get out, you monsters. Where were you when I was...
You're pantomiming like stabbing with a stick? Is that what
I'm stabbing them as they're trying to get into my bunker. You pigs. And then I would just keep it all for myself.
Yeah.
I don't like that idea.
Andy, did you dehydrate enough food for everybody?
Do you have enough bug juice? You know what the word bug juice is?
Kool-Aid?
Yeah, it's like a thing for at camp, summer camp.
Yeah. Lori43 says, not sure if this was mentioned before about the origin of Zuzu's name on It's a Wonderful Life. She was named after a cookie. Nabisco once made cookies called Zuzu Ginger Snaps. When Jimmy Stewart runs up the stairs, he says, Zuzu, my little ginger snap.
I was listening to this.
How are you feeling? Not a smidge of temperature. Not a smidge of temperature. Come here, you little piece of garbage.
God damn you, Bannister! That you lose Bannister. I refuse to fix. Isn't it his fault that the Bannister comes off?
It kind of is, yeah.
Asshole. And you said he was a certain fish of Fusha. Who's the fish of Fusha?
Perusha says,
Perouge!
I heard Jimmy Stewart always drove a Japanese pickup truck. Ring any bells, Andy? It's a Joe Zuzu. You weren't going to get to it.
I never would have. I wouldn't have gotten to that if you put me in if you had my family in the, you know.
He follows up with, also, how was Andy swallowing all his CDs? I don't understand that, Perush, but it's probably a reference to something we don't remember.
Is it about the CDs that I'm trying to put onto my Apple Music? No. I'm making my own Andy music to go up against Apple Music.
Yeah.
No, just forget it.
It's just you singing popular hits.
Hey, Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song.
If you like it, then you put a little ring on it. If you got it.
If you think about to put the ring on it.
Ricky Maybe, my good friend, Ricky Maybe.
Hi, Ricky
One
Maybe.
of those young friends I was telling you about.
You have young friends.
I do.
How old is he?
He is my newest, youngest
Is he
dear
younger than
friend,
me
I would
even?
say. He's half you.
Oh, my God. You're friends with someone who's 18?
I'm
I'm so old.
Oh, that's so sad.
I'm so lonely. That's what Don Rickles would
Yes.
do.
Ricky Maybe, good friend and listener, Thought Spiral listener, which is a weird combination, I find.
Hey, if you are a Thought Squire listener, feel free to go to buymeacupofcoffee.net.
No.
Buymeacupofcoffee.com
/ Thought Spiral.
Please get that.
Don't do any more plugs, Andy. You're
Okay,
terrible.
terrible. It makes people not want to give to anything.
Yeah. It makes people want to take coffee from us.
Oh, that was the worst thing in the new Curb Your Enthusiasm. This was the worst bit where they kept landing the private plane and saying, we can't go back up. We have to know what everybody weighs before we go back up. Is that a true thing? On a private plane that they ask you what your weight is?
Yes.
Okay. And then at the end of the thing, because he tried to steal the coffee beans, it ends up where they let him with 8 sacks of coffee beans. I mean, if you're not in the mood to
I
do
didn't
comedy,
see that one, so.
if you're not in the mood to do comedy, I should say take the week off.
Yeah, exactly. And turn the cameras off while you're doing it.
Yeah, and let your editor go to have a vacation.
So my dear friend Ricky Maybe, actor, director, writer extraordinaire. I just did an ad for him. That's how nice.
It sounded very much like you got paid.
Yeah. Josh, if you could bring back one comic from the dead to do a brand new 1-hour special at the top of their game, who would it be? Probably Hicks.
That's a good choice. I think I would bring Lenny Bruce because there's not so much Lenny Bruce visuals. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I think Hicks was funnier.
Than Lenny Bruce?
Yeah. I don't know if he's a funnier person, but I've heard, what's considered the best Lenny Bruce material and the best Hicks material, and I think the best Hicks material is funnier stuff. I mean, granted, he had 25 more years to develop it, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, to me, it's a rough argument anyway, because I love Hicks, so I don't love anyone more than Hicks. He's my favorite, too, so... But I just feel like, I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. Shecky Green. I'd like to see more Shecky Green. Or maybe I should just watch the existing Shecky Green. Let's go on to the next letter, because obviously...
That was for me anyway. That wasn't for
so
you.
fuck me. That's from your friend. Was that from your friend Ricky, maybe?
That was from my friend Ricky, maybe, who sent you your own separate question.
Oh, Ricky!
Yeah. He said, Andy, if you could pick any company or product in the world to star in a commercial for during next year's Super Bowl, what would it be?
Something marijuana-oriented, maybe?
Yeah.
Just because I think I'd like to have something like that. I can't think of anything else. I believe in pot.
Junior Jeters?
Hi, I'm Andy. They're not Jeters. That's why I messed up. Junior Jeters. They're infused and they're tasty. I also bought the hybrids.
There you go. It's already in the can.
Why wouldn't I put that in the middle of the table?
Shisto says, at what point is it stupid to read into things, like in the span of looking for metaphors or foreshadowing in a book to a deep state conspiracy theories? Where do models of the world break down or no longer apply? Wow.
Is this
our closer? Come on, Shisto.
Is this in relation to a real thing?
It's in relation to many real things.
You go first.
It's asking, what point is it stupid to read into things?
I think, okay, here's what I think. I think that what happens is it can get crazy. Like, for example, I love Mr. Robot. So I always think they're planting clues, but they're not always planting clues.
Right.
So I think anytime you go down too far the symbolism road, or the artist knew he was including this other thing, I think you can go too far with that. But there are some people who do write on different levels on purpose.
Yeah. I think whenever you are like counting on everyone being super smart for something to work, I mean, like a conspiracy theory is, I guess, what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
conspiracy theories, that
like
is.
it's never a sound basis to where for your thing to work, everyone had to be really smart and really discreet.
Well, that's why the 9/11 thing is so ridiculous to me, that there would be a conspiracy, because they're so
Or anytime you're talking about Trump in terms of three-dimensional chess.
Yes.
And not just going to the straight base, narcissistic, knee-jerk reaction to something, you're missing the boat.
Well, I think it makes people like Jake Tapper feel smarter that they can say that he's a master showman, because then, like, the more you make Trump a master showman, the more you can see how he fooled us.
Right.
The truth is,
Well,
he's
and
not
the
a master showman.
Right, and the more important the news you're bringing us is.
Yes.
Than if it was just some schmuck.
Yeah, it sounds worse than some schmuck fool.
Right.
I finished my coffee. I don't know if that is significant.
That's a nice out.
I like it.
Yeah. From now on, you're committed. You have to finish your coffee at the end of every show.
Perfect.
So now you can buy us a new coffee. All right, see how that works?
I like that.
Go to buymeacoffee.com/thoughtspiral if you want to support the show on a financial way. If you want to support the show in a spiritual, emotional way, go to iTunes. Leave us a nice review and 5 stars. If you want to support just me and not Andy, buy my album, Chunks. If you want to support just Andy, well,
That's a sad.
he has a GoFundMe.
No, it's go fuck me.
Oh, right.
Can we end blue? It's go fuck me.